Welcome to WVNG Ed Talks, a simple discussion about sometimes complex military education benefits. I'm Dr. Sherri Shafer, Education Services Officer for the West Virginia National Guard. West Virginia Guardsmen have a wonderful program available to them, the West Virginia Education Encouragement Program, or as we lovingly refer to it, the WVEEP. It's state tuition assistance. For putting on a uniform and serving your country and your state, the citizens of West Virginia say thank you by offering up to 100% paid tuition to attend our schools in state. You can work on a certification, associate's degree, bachelor's degree, and or a master's degree. It's a pretty sweet deal. You go to drill, you stay healthy, and you can go to school. Joining me today is Miss Lisa Jordan, an operations assistant in the Education Services Office. And Lisa, you deal with the dreaded, drum roll please, if I could get up, recoupment process. Tell me, what is recoupment in a nutshell?
Recoupment is when the service member either withdraws or fails a course. They fall below 12 hours, and I have to get the money back, essentially.
You said 12 hours. What if somebody starts out part-time?
Then that's below 12 hours, so I would still have to recoup.
Well, so if they start out at 6 and they fail a class, and you'd have to, okay, gotcha.
Yes.
All right. So what is the number one reason why this occurs?
Typically, a service member will either withdraw or fail a class.
And does this happen frequently?
More frequently than I would like to admit.
So is it possible for a service member to fail or withdraw and not be in trouble?
Yes. Say you're taking 15 hours and you withdraw from a course because it's simply too much of a caseload. So you still have 12 hours, so you're good. As long as you stay 12 hours, I don't recoup.
Or as long as you don't drop beneath whatever's been paid for.
Correct.
Okay.
Which is 12 hours.
12 hours. Well, unless they're going part-time. Anywho, all right. So can service members, what can they do to avoid this pitfall?
Go to class, make good choices, do your homework, turn in your assignments, just like your mom used to tell you back when you were in school. Make good choices.
Should they have you in their ear going, make good choices?
Yes, please, make good choices.
Are there any events where they might have an exception to policy that's warranted?
Yes, you can do an exception to policy if you have a medical issue come up or you have a military obligation.
So what does that process look like? Do you just kind of go, I don't have to go to class, or do they need to contact the Education Services Office in Charleston?
They definitely need to contact the Education Office in Charleston.
And that number would be 304-561-6361, correct?
Sounds good.
She doesn't know. She just works there. 304-561-6361. So you're in trouble. You're not getting that grade, or you need that ETP because of military or something like that. Call you, have a conversation, see what their options are.
Yes. If you have any questions, call me. It's easier for me to work with you than have to recoup on you later.
So what does recoupment look like? I mean, do you come bang on their door and say, get me some money?
I'm not nearly that threatening. I send a certified letter, or if I know the service member, I can send them an email, especially if they email me and are like, hey, I fell below 12 hours. I withdrew from this class. If we already have a conversation going, I'll send it that way. That way it's quicker for them, and they can go on to the next semester without any hiccups, I guess.
So if they're paid in full, correct, they can go back.
Yes.
So let's say they can't pay in full. Then what?
Then you can make a payment of at least $25 every month until it's paid off. And when your recoupment is paid off, you can use the program again.
And so hopefully most people are following that procedure. Could you, if you could give one tip for the day in terms of making grades, what would it be? In other words, what do you tell the soldiers and airmen who struggle with this problem? What would be your advice?
Make good choices. If you have any questions, call the office. Every single one of us is here to help you. We will do anything we can to help. So call us.
So what do you wish someone had told you a few years ago when you were in school. Did you notice how I threw that in there?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
There's a delicate balance between partying and studying. You have to find it, or you'll be like me and have a second round of college because your first round was too much of partying instead of studying.
Okay. Now, being an old crusty professor myself, I would probably throw in there that you should probably stay in contact with your faculty members as well. You know, that's the first line of defense. In terms of the military, they think of their command structure. That really is sort of like the first line of your command structure in terms of your after high school or post high school education experience. Stay in touch with your faculty members, and that isn't just turning in homework. That's talking with them, being open with them, expressing problems. If you have issues, you know, I had a service member at one point who had dyslexia, and he didn't tell me this until the very end of the term, and he struggled with a class the entire term. Had I known, we have a ton of help and assistance on campus at the time we did that I could have gotten him plugged into. So it's really about involving and engaging those faculty members, because they're not just there to teach you, they're also there to help guide you and to lean on and inspire you. And hopefully, you know, they're good professors and they actually do these things. So that's what I would say in terms of, I wish someone had told me that years ago when I was in school, is just speak up and speak up for yourself. I think it's important too, don't you agree, to really focus on your educational experience and take charge of it.
Absolutely.
So not just about finding that balance, as you said, between the party and the learning, but being in charge of the whole experience.
Be responsible for your education.
Right.
Just be responsible.
Well, Lisa, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Join us next time on WVNG Ed Talks, where we discussed HEB time. Yep, I said HEB time. WVNG Ed Talks. Tune in, turn it up, and join the conversation.